Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. We're going to close out the show talking a little bit about Sapelo. It is a gift from Creature Comforts, and I'm here with Adam Beecham.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on the show. Well, let's start at the beginning. Tell everybody about Creature Comforts.
Yeah, we're a 12-year-old craft brewery based here in Athens, Georgia. We've been purpose-driven and try to be a force for good in the world as we can through our 12 years. We're also recently moving into spirits production as well, so becoming a total beverage company, and that's helping us to achieve our purpose to foster human connection. We really want to be able to connect with all kinds of people. We feel like a beverage is a great way to connect with folks. So not everybody drinks beer, so we're moving into the world of spirits and learning a lot as we go.
Well, then give us a little history about how the solo partnership, the Save Our Legacy Ourselves partnership evolved.
Solo is a nonprofit organization based on Sapelo Island, one of our Georgia barrier islands here. They are focused on cultural preservation through really primarily agriculture. So they are led by members of the Gullah community that have called Sapelo home for hundreds of years. And they are really interested in establishing farming operations and agriculture that can help to generate economic opportunity and thus preserve some of the cultural legacy that they have as a people going back hundreds of years.
Well, this is an amazing way to help that legacy continue. So, once you learned about the people and the culture and the heritage, at what point did you guys say, you know what, we could do something with these oranges?
Yeah, we were fascinated by these oranges from the get-go. Really, they've been there since the 1600s. They're a very rare and unique fruit that the Spanish brought along, and they're actually a sour orange. So they're known as the Sapelo sour, and they are a cousin to the Seville orange, and they're traditionally used in the making of aperitivo, which is the drink that we're producing. So that was sort of always there as we were developing the relationship and the way that we might work together. But the fruit is really it's this amazing, very unique thing that almost was wiped out. There are only a handful of trees left, and so as a part of this project, the intention is to establish a new grove so that we can cultivate these oranges really solo, doing that aspect of it as a part of their mission. But we're trying to create a market for the oranges so that we can, get them in front of people, have people enjoy them, and create economic opportunity on the island.
Well, I've had an opportunity to taste it. Thank you for having me out to enjoy. So, what are people saying? Do people love it as much as I did? We had a couple of different variations there, different ways to enjoy it.
Mhm.
So far, what is everyone saying?
Yeah, it's a really versatile drink, and we're getting a great reception. Primarily, what you would see are spritz. So, spritzes are this great sort of Italian tradition of having an aperitivo that's it's basically diluted out with something fizzy. In the case of a spritz for a Sapelo, we're using a white wine, a sparkling white wine, a little bit of soda water, and so you wind up with this really, lightly bitter, a little sweet, very refreshing, low ABV drink that's intended for a pre-dinner. So it's a moment where people are gathering before a meal. We're getting, some conversation in. We're starting to, connect with one another, which is really, part of the reason that Creature Comforts is interested in this drink. We're all about fostering connection and trying to have people connect over our beverages. So we have had a really great reception. We've had several bartenders around Georgia change out other aperitivos for us for use in the spritz. And really, hearing great feedback. The orange is really the star of the show here. So you get this really bright, expressive citrus aroma and flavor, and most everybody really likes a really tasty orange, so it's going over well.
All right. Well, then now I've got to close out with where we can find it. Again, I had the opportunity to enjoy it out at Kimball House here in downtown Decatur. But where can we get
Yeah.
the actual Sapelo?
Yeah, so we have it in our tap room in Athens, Georgia. We also have a cocktail bar called Cura that will always be featuring Sapelo. We've also shipped it out to market. So your favorite package store, ought to have it. If they don't, you can ask for it. As well as you'll start to see it on menus for bars and restaurants all over Atlanta and Georgia.
Adam, thanks so much for coming on the show. It was good to see you again.
Good to see you, Keisha. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, please take the opportunity to visit the website, learn more, see where you can get your taste on. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode of Focus Atlanta. I hope to see you next week here on CBS Atlanta.